Welcome to the Logic in Life Coaching Podcast, episode 46.
Everyone wants happiness and success, and we know how to get you there. Come listen to the Leadership Society of Arizona as we teach a proven logic to help you simplify life, overcome challenges, and predict the future. You're listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. Welcome to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. My name is Chuck Solanas, and I'm joined by Dr. Jacob Kashiwagi. Thank you so much for coming on. Dr. Jacob is a lifetime educator. He's been educating in the high school and college arena for many years now. And so he recently he has a PhD from the Netherlands, right, at Delft University.
It's true.
And we're happy to have him on yet again.
Thank you, Chuck.
Okay, so the question for today is going to be about manifestation, positive thinking. Do you think it works?
I think it does work, but not necessarily for the exact reason that people say it does.
Interesting. Why do you think that?
For example, if someone is saying, I want $1 million, and that's all they think about, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get $1 million, right? Just to say it doesn't, I could say it over and over again, I'd never do it. I'd never, just all of a sudden come into $1 million at one time or whatnot, right? Because that's not what I care about. Right? Just because you keep saying something and you're positive about it and whatnot, doesn't necessarily mean you'll get it. But usually you get what you really care about. So this is why it works. Because if somebody really, really wants $1 million and they want to get it, and that's all they think about all the time because it's really the only thing they care about, well, there's a reason they care about it, right? Built within our genetics and how our minds operate, based upon our skills and how we look at life and what we enjoy and what we care about, it shapes our dreams, it shapes our desires. And the only person who's going to have desire where they're always thinking about $1 million in money and lots of money and making these big money deals are people who are usually built for that. Hence, yes, if you dream every night and you seriously dream every night because you really want it, it's really the only thing you care about, making tons of money every day, millions and millions of dollars. Yeah, you'll probably get it because that's probably who you are. Mm-hmm. Right? My dream growing up wasn't money because I'm trying to minimize how much money I spend and minimize how much I require. But my dream is to help other people in terms of education and understanding life. That's what I dreamed about every day when I was younger, on understanding life, understanding what's going on, helping other people with that, and being a leader in that field. And so that's what I thought about all the time. And that's what I do now for a living. But not everybody has that dream. I had that dream because it's suited to who I am, what I enjoy, what my talents are, right? And that's usually where you get your dreams and motivation and desires, is what you're good at.
Okay.
So when you really focus on it and you really care about it, hey, it usually happens. And this is a very good thing. It's a thing that I always tell students. Look, if you have a dream and you really, really care about it, you have nothing to worry about. You're going to get it. Because there's a reason you have that dream. There's a reason you dream about it every night. And yeah, although some people, a lot of people might dream about money all the time, it's not the same dream. Everyone has different dreams about money and what they want to do with it and how they want to use it or how they want to earn it. right? And so everybody has their own unique dream. And if you have the dream, it's an indication of who you are. And you'll probably get it.
Okay. So walk me through how this has worked in your life. So you say you've had this dream to help other people, and this opportunity just came about for you. Like, how? Well, walk me through some of that.
You see, and here's the thing is opportunities just don't open because you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunities open because of who you are and what you do. So for example, if I go through my life, so I'm the chairman of LSA, and I've mentored the organization to be able to now help and educate, thousands of high school kids. That's not like all of a sudden that fell into my lap. All of a sudden, the two students of mine wanted to start this organization. All of a sudden, I'm into this. No, my whole life I've built up to this. In fact, if I really look at it. So when I'm younger, first I come from a family of 8 kids. I'm the middle child, so I have 4 underneath me. Growing up, out of all of my siblings, the one to babysit these kids the most is who? Is me. And I enjoyed it. I'd create games for them. I'd create different ways to motivate them to get their chores done and to do the things that my parents wanted me to do when I was babysitting them, right? And so I gained a lot of skills in dealing with kids of all ages, especially when I was really young. How many 12-year-olds get that opportunity to babysit 4 kids, right? And to do it for such a long period of time and have to get their food ready, everything, right? Do everything for them, right? Not many people get that opportunity, but I actually really enjoyed it. As we got older, going now into my junior high school years, I would gather all the kids at this retention basin right by our house, and we would play capture the flag. Now, you're talking about we could gather up to 50 to 60 kids at any given day. The whole neighborhood, right? And they'd come out, and I would be leading them. I was the oldest, and I'd get all my friends to come out. And we, like you had all kids from the age of 4 all the way till, I was 19. We did this. Mm-hmm. So for that's like 7 years of my life. Majority of my time was spent at this field with a bunch of other younger kids, organizing them to play capture the flag. With, of course, my own 4 siblings. That always came with me because I was babysitting them.
Yeah.
So I mean, not many people spend their high school career doing this. Many don't want to do this, but I really enjoyed it, and I spent those 7 years. Sometimes we would play every single day in the summer. So and it gained me the ability to deal with kids of all ages, from 4 years old all the way up to high school, my own age, right? And so this I did. Now this continues. So I'm developing these skills, right? All throughout high school, and a lot of other, people are doing other things, right? But this is what I was doing. And then I get into college. So I start a student club up, a leadership student club, because I was real interested, right, of doing this thing, right? And so we start this thing, we get it going. I learned to deal with college students. But not only that, I start teaching at the age of like 21, 22 at ASU. I start teaching undergrads and graduate students, right? So you start to see that all throughout my life, all the way from when I was very young, all the way till now, right? I've been teaching. I've been doing all these things. Now, then I become a professor. I continue teaching. We have an undergrad class that fills out every semester multiple. And of course, because you took it, Chuck, 250 students a semester, right? And we're helping these students with with just figuring out what they want to do with their life, helping them with fulfilling their dream, helping them with whatever they need as they come into our classes. So dealing with all of these college students, thousands of them. Now we have 2 grad students come in, want to start this organization, and not to mention you and a bunch of other students who were involved, and then and here we are today. And it's really funny because I had a dream, but I didn't necessarily go to fulfilling all that dream, but I was capable of doing it. All throughout my life, you can kind of see from the very beginning, I was building up these skill sets and this capability. And I was in the right environment, right? Of all places, university. You kind of see that based upon who I was, actually was kind of leading my way through this. And how would I know that eventually I would, be doing what I'm doing today? My mindset wasn't necessarily on that, but based upon what I like to do, what I was doing, my skill set, it led me to this.
Okay. And so your positive thinking was like, I like working with kids. I like helping people. I like mentoring and coaching and stuff like that. And so you were not necessarily going out and seeking those opportunities. I mean, you started your own club, which presented that opportunity for you, but you took the opportunities that were available that kind of met that skill set. Because I know at ASU, there's so many different clubs. There's so many different opportunities that you can take. And so you didn't just pick any one, you just picked the one that made the most sense to you and just formed your own.
Well, and two, I just did what I knew, what I focused on the whole time, what I enjoyed, the things I wanted. And not only that, is when you love something, you talk to other people about it. So even when you're working with me at ASU, Chuck, you'd hear my dream. I'd tell everybody, what I would hope to do one day, what I really enjoyed doing, what my dreams were. And so that naturally attracts people to you that want the same things, that like the same things.
Right. So you just start talking about it, start talking about your vision for the future. And when you're talking about it with more and more people, then those people may have the resources to help you get there. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, not only the resources, but even sometimes the opportunity, or sometimes just the wherewithal or the knowledge to be able to help you with something that you really need. And that creates the opportunities and whatnot.
Right.
Definitely. For example, I was just talking with a friend of mine the other day, and who just so happens to be a great business person, and telling him about how I really want to actually start a school, an old, not like the current schools, but a more traditional type of education school, where actually students come to the school, live at the school while they're young, maybe like 12, 13 years old, where they actually learn to cook, to do all the things you need to learn to live, but they also learn a trait and whatnot as you mentor them. And it's more of a mentorship and being like an intern rather than going to school.
This is called a boarding school.
Yeah, but it's maybe a little different than a boarding school, because in the school, we don't want it to be as rigid, right? It's more of a school that they come to, and really they're learning to live their own life, right? And learning what they want to learn, so that they actually learn to find themselves instead of learning to be told what they're supposed to be. And I think that's the big difference. Is a boarding school is the same as my dream, as in they come and live there and we teach them things. But I think usually boarding schools are built off of trying to teach students this is the way you need to be. And I want the school to be more focused on an opportunity for students to learn who they want to be. And I think traditionally that fit a lot more than current education systems. But I was talking to him about this, and he's like, "You need to tell me your business plan, and whatnot, because I'm interested. I want to support this. I want to do something like this as well." And apparently, it's he wants something like that as well. And so it's really an interesting thing. Just as you have your dream, your hopes, what you're focused on, if you truly love it, then naturally it's like birds of a feather flock together. You naturally bring this into your life. So it's not magic.
It's not magic?
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is it's not like you just focus on it, it comes. It's like whatever you're thinking for a reason based upon who you are. And there's a very big connection there. And based upon who you are and what you do and what you focus on and where you go and where you spend your time, that creates opportunity. Someone who is always going to a law library, they're never going to meet like a doctor there. They're never going to meet someone who's into karate or something. So you can't go to the law library and just hope, man, I hope I'm able to train from like a master martial artist. That doesn't work, because you're never going to meet that person. You're never going to even be exposed to this person. But if you really love martial arts, you're going to go to learn martial arts from a studio. You're going to go to competitions. You're going to talk to people about it in your area, and you're going to eventually put yourself in the situations where there will be a master martial artist somewhere, right?
So a law library, like where people practice law and learn cases?
People study for in law school to become a lawyer, right?
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you're more likely to find people that are studying to be lawyers there. Yeah.
And if your dream is to become a lawyer, then that's a great place to be.
And yeah. Okay.
Not magic. It's not magic. It's natural law.
So you're just going to naturally attract these people based off of who you are. You're just going to be doing the normal things that you already do, and opportunities will become available as you talk about what you're thinking, as you're envisioning that, and you explain it to other people, and you think about it, you make a plan for it, and you really act on it. It's not a passive thinking type thing, right?
You are right. Well, you don't have to worry about it. What you love, you're proactive in. So you're naturally going to be pushing it, but it's not something you got to be like, in order for this to happen, I gotta do all this stuff. No, I mean, it should be a natural thing, right? If it's not natural, then you don't really love it. Then you're kind of pushing yourself in a direction that you're not really meant to go. You might not get the opportunities then, right? Because that's not who you are. It's a foreign thing to you. But the more natural it is, the more that's who you are. It's going to happen, right? Am I making sense here, or did I get confusing there?
Okay, so I'm going to give a different example. So say you're in a job, and you had a bunch of opportunities that you could have taken. You figured this was the best job, and you're in it, and you feel really drained by the end of the day. You don't really like it. But people want you to keep going in it, and they're excited about you working there, and you feel drained. You don't know what to do. So that says something about the person's dreams or what they're thinking, right?
Yeah, it means that they push themselves to take opportunities that they didn't really want. You know, that they don't really care about very much, and they're unhappy about it.
Right. And so pushing yourself, even though those opportunities are being presented to them, you shouldn't necessarily take them. You should really evaluate what it is that you want from your life. What is it that you want from these opportunities that's going to make you feel alive, excited, passionate about life, you know?
And it's true, but okay, I do have to have a safety warning here, which is you have to look at your hopes and dreams and what you really care about compared with reality. For example, everyone needs to make a living. Everyone needs a job. You got no job, you got no money, you can't live. So you got to get a job. And sometimes that job might not be what your hopes and dreams are, but it's what reality is. And you only got one offer, and it's a job you don't like. Well, you got to take it.
Right.
But here's the thing is if you really have hopes and dreams, then you'll go to your job, you'll hate it, but you'll always be talking about something else. You'll always be like dreaming about something else. You'll always be into hobbies dealing with something else, which eventually, as you keep looking out and you keep seeing what's going on, it's going to give you an opportunity to go somewhere else, find a job that you really love, right? But you might have to take this job that you don't like for a little while. Now,
Right.
sometimes people's issue is they really don't have any hope or dream. So they're at this job they don't like, they stay there because there's no other opportunities, but they don't have any other opportunities because they don't really care about anything else. And so they just stay at that job unhappy. And yes, when you have no hopes and dreams and you don't really delve yourself and engage yourself in anything that you really, really love, yeah, then you are unhappy. That's why you're at this unhappy job, right?
Um, you know, it's hard to think that someone has no hopes or dreams.
It's really, I am finding now even more than ever when people don't have the time to figure out who they are and what they love when they're younger, as they get older, they lose it. I've seen this a lot with a lot of people. I see this even with kids nowadays, with students. How many students are like 13, 14, 15, and they've been told who they should be, what they should learn, what their hopes and dreams should be so much that now they don't have any passion. They don't have anything that they're hoping for in their future. The only thing they can think about is money, right? And that's money is not a hope and dream. Maybe like being a stock market person or investing or something is hope and dream, dealing with money. But when the only thing they have in their mind is I want to be rich, that's not really a hope and dream, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so it is really sad, and it is hard to imagine, but it happens every day nowadays. And but that's the importance of figuring out what you want, figuring out what you can think about all day long, every day. Not, it does take a little bit of effort in terms of you got to know, you got to figure out who you are, you got to be given some type of freedom to go and explore and to develop that.
Hmm. I think my question is if you're someone that is feeling like you don't have a hope or dream, what is it that you recommend to them?
Ah, go do something. Make something your hope and dream until you're so sick of it you say, no, this can't be my hope and dream anymore.
Okay.
And everybody has constraints in their life. So based upon how much you work, what stage in life you are, the people you got to deal with, whatnot, find something that you can think about every day that you can work on every day. It could be like, hey, joining a sports league or something. and playing soccer if you're older, and you have like one day a week that you can go and play sports with other people. Or maybe it's going to the gym and becoming a fanatic gym person. Or maybe it's like joining a book club or starting a book club, or maybe it could be just like, it could be playing a video game. If you're older and you got nothing to do, and you can't go out of your house, you only got an hour, whatever it might be, start doing something where you interact with other people and you gain a skill, you do something, right? Because if you just do it, then you might find out you really love it and you want to get more into it. And then it brings opportunities, and then it brings more things that you like. Or you might find out you don't like it at all, and you go to the next thing. And if you just keep going to the next thing, once you find out you really don't like something, eventually you're going to find something you like. Then you're going to develop a dream about it. Does this make sense?
Yeah. So just try something.
Go do something, anything. Because really what you're trying to do is figure out who you are. And of course, if you have no clue who you are, it's going to take a lot longer to develop the hope and dream. The more you kind of know who you are and you kind of have figured out what you enjoy, the quicker and the less wasted time you'll have, because you'll pick the right things right off.
So if you're saying like, just go do something. Well, if I'm thinking, I should go do construction work on this house, like I should go repair all these abandoned houses in the area. That would be something, but I could say, well, I don't know if I have the permit. I don't know if I have the right tools. I don't know if I have the right ability.
Now, remember, do something that your situation allows you to do.
Okay.
But just because you don't know how to do a lot of things doesn't necessarily mean you can't make that your goal and your dream. So just because you don't know construction and you don't know it very well or whatever it might be, doesn't mean you can't make it your hopes and dreams. It just means you have to research a lot. You just have to, research how to get a permit. You got to research how to do this or that. But you definitely have to be able to have the resources to do it. So if you don't have the resources, it can't be your hope and dream. This makes sense.
It does. Yeah. So you just you do what comes to your head first, because that'll probably be something that fits you, and that works for you. And then if you need to learn something, you learn it. And then if it feels like too much effort, then try something else, right?
You got it. Not if it feels like too much. Well, yes, if it feels like too much effort, it means you're not having fun. Because if you're having fun, there's nothing that's ever too much effort.
Great. Well, I appreciate the time, Dr. Jacob. Thank you so much for clarifying about your thoughts on positive thinking and manifestation. Thank you, listeners, for listening, and viewers for watching. Have a good day. Thank you for listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. It would be great if you could take a moment to write us a review. For any questions, comments, or topics that you would like to have addressed on the show, email the team at leadaz.org. To learn more about the Leadership Society of Arizona, visit us at leadaz.org.